fucking fantastic good. I'll introduce myself. So, by day I go by Adam, but by night time Ad PM. And people often ask me, were you named after the Bible? No, please explain my joke, it's fine. People often ask me, were you named after the Bible? And I said, no, otherwise my name would be the Bible. A little bit about me is I was raised Catholic. Any Catholics in the room, give us a cheer. Yay! Fuck me, that's a lot of you. Any happy Catholics in the room, give us a cheer. That means it's working, nice! Fuck yeah, none of us are happy. Good, let the hate flow through. I was raised Catholic. It was quite hard being raised Catholic, as 50% of the room would agree. We didn't have normal music. We didn't listen to Soldier Boy. We had Altar Boy. We didn't have Iron Man and the Avengers. We had Jesus and the disciples. So the only end game I was looking forward to was the Rapture. And if you don't get that joke, you're going to hell. The worst part about being Catholic, though, in my opinion, was the lack of normal cereal. We didn't have Quaker Oats, we had Cardinal Crunch. Half the calories, twice the guilt. Side effects include dodgy Irish accent that sounds a bit Welsh. But religion gets a really bad rap these days, and I kind of agree that, because I'm an agnostic now, which means I'm an atheist with anxiety. Religion gets such a bad rap these days, but it actually saved my life, so I'm going to go out there and defend it. I'm going to be the devil's advocate for God. Religion saved my life. It stopped my mum getting an abortion. A decision I challenged her on. She didn't need to keep me, but it was nice of her to try. No, I'm not going to sag off religion for another reason. That's because Pope Francis recently passed away, and I think it's a really tough time for us Catholics, but I'm sure he'd be laughing at my jokes down there. No, yes. Yeah. One guy's really happy about the fact he's burning in hell. No, I'm actually very close to my mum, despite what I just said, because we're both disabled, which means, of course, we're both big fans of the Labour Party. You can read more about my feelings on the Labour Party in my new best-selling book, Ask for Angela Rayner. Shout out, Ange. No, we're both disabled. I'm autistic. She's hard of hearing, and she only developed this disability recently. She's a new member to the Itty Bitty Disability Committee. And she's actually, I make jokes about it. I'm very close to my mum. I'm very close to my mum. I love this woman so much that I think it'd be really nice if we give her a little round of sympathy. I'm going to wave my mic around the room. You're going to give her the best round of sympathy. 1, 2, 3. Sign language round of sympathy, but you get the idea. No, I'm very close to my mum. She's deaf. I'm autistic. All 3 autistic comedians in the country in the room. It's nice to meet you again, comrades. We're taking over slowly but surely. I'm autistic. But the main reason we're so close is we're both from Kent. My mum and I stereotyped these cousin-shagging reform voters back there. And okay, we get it. Cousin-shagging reform voters. I'll have you know, I would never vote reform. I'm not pro-incest, don't be ridiculous, guys. I can never sleep with my mum, She's too much like a sister to me. My dad, on the other hand, I have a more platonic relationship. I'm going to work his back brains out later. I can never have sex with any of my family members because I don't really have much sex. Their standards are too high. No, my dad is actually a virologist. He's a virologist. He goes around curing people of STDs, and I like to think that my lack of sex at the moment is like my part of curing these STDs and not me just being a disappointment. Yeah. My dad and I, we're not as close as me and my mum, but we have some bond. We have this Star Wars-esque relationship in that he tried to cut off my hand. And he killed my mum. If you haven't seen Revenge of the Sith, dude. Life-changing movie. 20 years old today. Hey. I'm autistic and I'm left wing, which means I love trains, but I fucking hate rail privatisation. I like socialism, but not socialising. I was at a protest recently standing on behalf of marginalised people, so you've got the queer community, Palestinian community, and of course the people please community. And my chant is like, they're a wonderful group, the people please community, but they've got this awful chant that doesn't persuade anyone. It's, what do we want? Whatever you want. When do we want it? At your convenience. Say it loud, say it clear. And that's what us to shut up, which makes me will. I'm not like super politically engaged on everything. I'm not super politically engaged on everything. For example, the rise of AI, I'm a bit more neutral. Because on the one hand, I don't want AI replacing artists. I think that's bad. I think it's zilch. We're already not paid anyway, and it's just going to billionaires. But I am okay with AI replacing neurotypical people. Look, if I want to talk to something that's cold and soulless and wrong, I at least want it to give me a good lasagna recipe. Or for me to be able to legally delete it afterwards. You pick your poison. Did you guys know that murder's illegal? Well, apparently I can't murder my annoying co-worker. I don't have a job anymore, so that's not funny. I don't have a job, I'm an autistic comedian, I don't have a job, that means I can't do crowd work. When I go, what do you do for a living? I don't understand. I'm unemployed. No, it's fun. It's fun being on benefits. The benefits are benefits. The lack of benefits and no job. No, it's fun. It's fun. It's apparently really easy according to the Daily Mail. Keir Starmer's a cunt. Do you want to hear my impression of Keir Starmer doing a poo?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so constipated today, Mr. Speaker. My father was a tool maker, and yet I can barely be a stool maker today. That's Keir Starmer doing a poo. Thank you. Yeah, we should throw back to him and he'll resign. Fuck you, Keir Starmer. So I chose to be autistic for two reasons, really. The first reason I chose to be autistic was to become funny. And it was 2006, I was 4 years old, the NHS worked back then, it was a mythical time. I looked my doctor in the eye because I could do that back then. And he said, hello Adam, and I said, oily geezer, hit me up with that good shit, and he said, do you mean drugs? And I went, no, I'm on my autism. Autism jab, that is. And he said, Adam, or should I say, Ad PM. I can't give you autism. And I said, yes, you can. The internet told me you could. And then he said, no. I can't give you autism. I can't give you specifically autism. And I said, why not? And he said, well, Adam, you're very handsome, you're very charming, you're very well adjusted, you're going to make a woman very happy one day. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, I can picture it right now. I said, you can picture that right now. That's a really weird thing to say to a 4-year-old doctor. But I'm Catholic, so I understand. Yeah, eventually I did convince my doctor to give this little Catholic boy autism. And the way I did it was, we had a little back and forth. He said, if you can prove you're already like a little bit autistic or neurospicy or whatever it is, people say instead of cuckoo bonkers these days, we will give you autism. And I said, well, there's nothing unusual about me, doctor. Except for one thing. There was actually one thing. I was very into video games, specifically Pokemon, and I can actually name all 1,025 Pokemon. I told my doctor I can name all 1,025, and he said, all 1,025? I said, yeah, all 1,025. I remember it by the exact number of genders J.K. Rowling thinks the left have made up. And he said, Adam, this is 2006. There'd only been 493 Pokemon, actually. Also, this reference doesn't make sense because this is 2006. Again, J.K. Rowling is only known as a beloved children's author and not a bigot. And I said, exactly, doctor, you're a character in a flashback created by an autistic person. Also, inexplicably has time travel powers that understand social context. Therefore, I'm already autistic, and this is a paradox. And we're in a gig in Portsmouth, and we're trapped. So give me the fucking jam. And the other reason I chose to be autistic was to make a difference. I read recently that 3 out of 5 autistic people experience suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations, and even follow through with it. And I think we can all agree it's really awful and tragic that Elon Musk isn't fucking one of them.